nobody talks about keyboard shredding. There's some good videos about blues piano and it's a little bit about jazz and R&B and some cool licks and stuff and some things about two-hand arpeggios, but there's nothing about true keyboard shredding like you would on a guitar or on a keyboard. All right, so I'm gonna fix that. Let's head over to the piano. When we're talking about shredding on the piano, there's a couple different things I want to go over technique-wise that I've learned from other great piano players and some things I've figured out myself, especially when trying to transcribe guitar parts onto the piano. So actually, let's take a look at arpeggios first. Two-hand tapping on the guitar is very reminiscent of keyboard arpeggios. In fact, I first learned how to play Hot for Teacher, Van Halen, on the piano. And actually, I realized I didn't quite play it exactly the way the guitar part goes because it always ends up starting on a higher note. But basically, that's a good place to start. We have these arpeggios that are all 4 notes. Keeping the hand relaxed, you really try to go for 1, 2, 3, 5, if possible, in the fingering. It could be 1, 2, 4, depending. Especially when there's a third on top. That's a really good one for instant shred, and it's good to be able to do it one-handed. I'm going way too fast and making mistakes, but you get the idea. Okay, so taking a single arpeggio and switching the 3rd or 4th finger, depending upon where you're at. It's good to kind of figure out a little pattern. And stick with it. Let's talk about scales first before we get into our next thing, which will be kind of 3 and 4 group patterns. Scales are important to know, and that's for many reasons. Obviously, you want to know what notes you're playing, but also because therein lies an easy shredding possibility. So, one thing I have to say about scales is that, for the most part, we're doing groups of 3 and 5. Like if I did D major, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And really it's a group of 3 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5 is the last one. Or if it's the left hand, it's the beginning. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And yes, you should do this in both hands, of course. Something I like to do is take the 4 group maybe and repeat it. That's very nice. Possibilities. Now within that scale, I want you to try to play those as 3 and 4 note groups. So take the D scale. F sharp and C sharp. The only rule is you either go 1, 2, 3 or 2, 3, 4, depending on if you start on a white key or black key. So black key would be 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and so on and so forth. Now if you want to do 4 notes, then all you do is do 1, 2, 3, 4 or 2, 3, 4, 5. And I find those to actually be more useful because you don't seem to have to move up the keyboard as fast. So 3 note and 4 note groups are the same in left and right, they just kind of go in different directions, right? that's a particularly difficult one. It's good to do this with both hands because you never know when one hand needs to play one keyboard and the other might have to do another, or vice versa, and have to switch. If your left hand can do this stuff, you can do a bass solo, which is always cool. Groups of pentatonic and 4 notes. And again, you can change the fingering to fit the spacing of the keys. And this is basically what you have as a piano player for shredding. You can do repeated notes as well. You can do, for example, 3 notes, 3, 2, 1. You can do 4. That's hard to get going fast through a scale, but you can do it a little bit. You know, you might do it on an E minor, for example. All right, go take it to the next level.